Call to order the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of October 20, 2025. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Present.
Thomas.
Present.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside. Ross.
Here.
Garner. 4 present, 2 absent.
I'll stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. Start our meetings off with public comment. Any item that is on the current agenda, you could step to the microphone and state your name. There being no one, on to approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
First by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
4 aye.
Pat?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the September 29, 2025 and October 6, 2025 meetings. Item number 2, approval of police department request to purchase 7 Flock Solar PTZ video cameras from Flock Group, Inc. at a cost of $32,000, Illinois Attorney General Organized Retail Crime Grant proceeds. Item number 3, approval of police department request for Detective Sean Gaylor to attend the Commanding the Narrative Media Mastery for Law Enforcement Leaders training course in Louisville, Kentucky from December 1st through 4th, 2025 at a cost not to exceed $2,400. Item number 4, approval of Public Works Department recommendation to renew fuel purchase contract with Avalon Petroleum Company for the 2026 calendar year, 2024 low bidder, no rate adjustment. Item number 5, approval of payroll for period ending October 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $1,144,624.98. Item number 6, approval of bills for period ending October 20th, 2025 in the amount of $2,726,574.99.
Is there a motion to
So moved.
approve?
Second.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
4 aye.
Motion carries. On to petitions and communications. Approval of a proclamation designating October 23rd through the 31st, 2025 as Red Ribbon Week in the village of Gurnee. Red Ribbon Week is the oldest and largest drug prevention campaign in the nation. The Red Ribbon was chosen as a symbol commemorating the work of Enrique Camarena, a Drug Enforcement Administration agent who was murdered in the line of duty and has come to represent the belief that one person can make a difference. This year's Red Ribbon Week theme is Life is a Puzzle, Solve It Drug-Free. This powerful theme symbolizes how every choice we make fits into a bigger picture, just like a puzzle coming together. Living drug-free helps build a stronger, brighter future one piece at a time. Now therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim October 23rd through the 31st, 2025 as Red Ribbon Week in the village and encourage all citizens to wear and display red ribbons and participate in the drug-free activities throughout the week, joining the rest of the country to establish an atmosphere that supports awareness, education, and ongoing initiatives to prevent illegal drug use. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Ross. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay. No reports, no old business. On to new business. Item 1, approval of ordinance 2025.
71.
Amending Chapter 22 and 32 to add Article 10 of the Gurnee Municipal Code to regulate and license food trucks. Okay.
Sure. So I'll give a high-level overview, and then Attorney Winter can jump in here if you would like to. So we talked about this back in May in response to complaints from residents and businesses in town about food trucks basically setting up shop in parking lots close to current food and beverage taxpayers and not having any licensing or paying food and beverage tax or sales tax to the village of Gurnee. So back in May, we provided some information on what other communities do as far as licensing fees, et cetera. Reviewed that with the village board. Kind of at the heart of our proposed ordinance is a 500-foot buffer separation from existing food and beverage taxpayers where food trucks would operate. So included in your packet, back of your packet was a map that we provided back in May. If this passes, obviously we'll update that with any changes. with additional food and beverage taxpayers that have come on board, and we noticed we had a couple missing, like Kaiser's up on Route 21 was missing. But basically, this buffer map gets them off of Grand Avenue for the most part. So we instituted that $500 license fee, which would be annual from January 1st to December 31st for those food trucks that qualify as on a permissible food truck operation site. So that's outside of that 500-foot buffer where they have an agreement with the property owner where they can locate on a regular basis. A second license type we had in there was a special event license. So that's, as it sounds, for food trucks that show up on occasion for special events in the village. So these could be events that taxing bodies have or special events that a private business would have. That's a $50 fee. They're limited to 12 special events per year. If it was a fellow taxing body that had the special event and the food truck was available to the public for like Gurnee Days or Lights at Welton Plaza, that wouldn't count towards their 12. So we worked with the Park District on that. They were concerned as far as that restriction kind of hampering their ability to draw food trucks in. So with that 12 and it not counting towards it, they were good with it. At your spot tonight was an updated ordinance and an updated memo from Attorney Winter. We had missed putting in not allowing speakers outside, flashing lights and such. That was a complaint we received from some residents that were close to where food trucks were showing up as well. So again, it's pretty consistent with what other communities do, what we prevented in May. Getting it done now allows staff to reach out to food trucks that we've made contact with in the past, as well as others in the area, to provide them this information so they've got plenty of time to make sure they're in compliance, can apply for the license, et cetera, before January 1st. So I guess with that, I turn over to Attorney Winter if there's anything else you.
Yeah, I mean, like all businesses in the village, typically you do have to get a business license, and so the village is aware of businesses, their operations, and that they're safe. And however, that did not apply to food trucks, and that's what motivated the need for this. It is consistent with what other villages are doing. The effective date of this particular ordinance will begin January 1 of 2026, so that should give everybody notice of this regulation. And what will be really important is not only do you have to, in order to operate, you have to get the license, but you also have to notify Village Hall that as far as the location, so we can determine whether that's a suitable location. Another aspect is the village does collect food and beverage taxes. This ordinance points out that that certainly would apply to food trucks. It does currently. However, there really wasn't a mechanism to make sure food trucks necessarily registered with the village. By requiring the license and establishing that as a prerequisite, that will enhance that collection process.
All right, so if we just do a motion, then after the motions, we can have discussion or questions. So is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Thorstensen. I'll go to my left. Any questions or comments?
In the costs of doing a license or the permit or whatever, did you do a survey on that? Because it seems a little light to me, and I had some input that also thought it was a little on the light side.
Yeah, we originally proposed $1,500 in May, and everyone thought that was too much. So we looked at what others were charging, and they were typically between $250 and $500. So that was kind of the going rate. So that's where that came from.
And the 50 also? I mean, the one, not for the year kind of thing, just the one event?
Well, yeah, at the special events, there was some concern that, for instance, the Park District encourages folks to come in. If you put the cost too high, there'd be a disincentive to come in for just one event for the year. And so basically, the amounts really reflect the administrative cost to doing the licensing, and that's one of the reasons that the amount was reduced down to $500.
And they do pay a food tax
Yes, they do.
for the day. And how do we regulate that, or how do we know that they're actually acknowledging?
So we'll know, because they have to now come in for a license, so we'll know that, and then that gives us an opportunity to give them the form that we use. So these businesses have to report to the state. Our form really dovetails over that state form, and mostly the same numbers will be utilized in order for the village to collect its tax. And now we have a mechanism to know that where these establishments will be located, so that we can follow up if we had to do an audit.
Okay, thank you.
Am I right? Comments?
I guess I
Trustee
do.
Thorson?
You probably answered most of them, but I think we all have seen them throughout Gurnee. And so with the areas that are restricted, do you know how many of those would not be able to continue their business in the Home Depot parking lot or down by Big Norm's?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes
those,
to both of those.
yeah,
Not continuing.
they'd be prohibited in there.
And then the other question I have is about, I guess I'm going to say word of mouth. I don't know how to say it any other way, but we have people that encourage them to come to their parking area, and they're not paying any license for them, but how are we going, you're saying that the primary notification means about this new policy will be to contact them?
Yeah, I mean, we'll reach out to the food trucks that we know. There's no doubt that there will be some after the fact. Someone will be driving down Grand Avenue, see a food truck in the Home Depot parking lot. What's the name of it? No, they're not on the list. Code enforcement's going out to give them this information that, hey, you don't have a license. You need to, fill out the application process. This isn't a permissible spot, so you can't be here, so to share that information. So there'll be some cat and mouse when this first gets implemented, for sure.
And I appreciate that. And then additionally, will the code enforcement say, here's where you can be, move 100 feet down the road?
Yeah, well, when code enforcement goes out there to talk to them, they'll have the application, the ordinance, we'll have a checklist as far as what they need to provide, and we plan on providing them the buffer map, so they can see exactly where they can and cannot be in town.
That's great. Thank you. Very fair.
Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
4 aye.
Motion carries. Item 2, approval of ordinance 2025,
72?
authorizing the execution of a third amendment to the redevelopment agreement with Red Crown Investments, LLC, 141, for property located at 4281 and 4885 Grand Avenue, Gurnee, Illinois.
Sure. So this is the Avalon BP redevelopment. We've had a couple amendments already related to getting the property line straightened out with the property owner to the south and IDOT permitting, and then some additional comp storage credits as related to that property line once that was taken care of. They're still working with IDOT and IDNR as far as the permitting for the site. They've received conceptual approval on the access points from IDOT, but they need to work with IDNR as relates to the hydrology in the area for Route 21 and Riverside Drive. So they're still working through that process. We talked to IDOT within the past couple months. So again, both sides are making progress on it. So based on the timelines that were in the Second Amendment, looking to extend that again. If they don't have, so they're looking to extend the construction date from November 1st, 2025 to June 1st, 2026. And if construction is delayed beyond June 1st for any reason, they've agreed to restore the Avalon site to turf. So we won't have that issue with the weeds growing up again. They'll get that transition back to turf. So as soon as they receive the okay from IDOT, if the weather permits, they want to get started right away. They figure a 6-month construction period. So again, wait on the state and the IDNR. So it's a good redevelopment of the site, so want to continue to work with them. So give them an additional 8 months here on the construction start date.
Is there a motion to approve?
So
Motion
moved.
to approved.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee O'Brien. Any questions or comments? Trustee O'Brien?
I'd just like to say thank you for putting in the the green grass provision at the end of it.
You can thank the mayor for that one.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
Four aye.
Motion carries. Item 3, approval of ordinance 2025,
73.
executing a contract with Mad Bomber Fireworks Production for fireworks display services on July 2nd, 2026, the 250th anniversary of the United States event to be held at Viking Park. Pat.
Yep, so partner with the Park District to plan an event to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Obviously, being around 4th of July, it's hard to find fireworks vendors, so as we've talked about what we might want to have over at Viking Parks, fireworks obviously came up. So we reached out right away to the Mad Bomber to see if they were available and if they could get us a price. Not available the 3rd or 4th. They are available the 2nd, which is a Thursday. We felt that worked good with the 4th of July being on a Saturday. People are leaving town for the long weekend. A lot of people may have off work on Friday. So it seemed like Thursday may be a date where plans aren't made yet. Also worked out good for the Park District staff. So they got us a proposal, $25,000, said the show would be comparable to what we see every year at Gurnee Days, which is a great show. Also gave us a forewarning with tariffs that have been put in place that the Gurnee Days fireworks prices are probably going to go up, so expect that to be coming. But wanted to get this signed, sealed back to the Mad Bomber if it's something the village board is interested in, because again, that's obviously their busiest time of the season that weekend there. So want to get on their list. So going to continue to work with the Park District as I had in my memo. I'm talking about potentially some live music, some food trucks, alcohol sales out there, potentially an orchestra to cap the night off with fireworks. But again, it's all still kind of in the planning phases, but want to get this one on the books. So we'll include money in next year's budget, knowing that this expense is out there.
Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Ferguson, second by trustee Ross. Any comments or questions? Trustee O'Brien?
I just have one question. Will fire service have enough staff to cover this and also Great America, which is probably going to shoot off roughly the same time?
Yeah, so for Great America, once the permit's been set up, Tammy, one of our inspectors, will go out and make sure everything looks good. And as long as they don't change the program, then we won't need to send anybody else out there. So the one time, once there's a change, then we go back and re-inspect it. So we'll have enough staff.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
Four aye.
Motion carries. Item 4, approval of ordinance 2025,
74.
authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with FGM Architects to create an interior design master plan for Gurnee Village Hall. Pat.
Yeah, so I'm pretty colorblind, so you do not want me having anything to do with this. So
That is correct.
yeah. So Village Hall constructed in 1992, obviously contains administration, community development, the mayor's office, and then rooms for the public to use. So community room, council chambers. A lot of most of the paint, a lot of the carpet, a lot of the furniture, the decor is all original to the building. So here we are over 30 years later, probably in need of a refresh at this point. So roof's in good shape, HVAC we just got taken care of. So the bones of the building are good. It's just some of the physical appearance. So the bathrooms, community room, again, areas that the public go in on a regular basis, as well as some of the areas that the employees are in. All week long. So we've partnered with FGM in the past. They designed Fire Station 3, working with the fire department right now on the renovation project over there. I've been very pleased with how Station 3 turned out as far as the appearance, how modern it is and functional. So got them up here to do a tour of the village with representatives from each kind of area of the building to talk about current operational needs, where operational needs may go in the future, and then requested a proposal to help us or for them to design a Village Hall interior design master plan. So they responded back with a proposal of $35,440 plus recommended $1,000 of reimbursable allowance in there. What that gets us, they'll come out, meet with staff, try to get staff a consensus of the goals of each of the areas, input the drawings into some 4D building modeling software so we can actually see what they come up with. come up with some new floor plans for some of the employee areas that are open, so not the office spaces, but the general work areas and administration, building, and engineering. Also come up with a furniture plan, material palette that works with some of the existing materials. So for instance, if the tile on the floor out there didn't change, what are they going to do with the paint and the other decor out there where it matches that? So kind of mixing and matching. And then they'll come up with overall project budgets. So for the carpet, for the paint, et cetera, then we can use that. Some portions of the project as far as going out to bid, we can obviously handle paint and carpet. That's easy. But some of the other, if we were going to go with new office furniture, we would need someone to actually design how that's going to lay out in that space and work with office furniture vendors. So again, that's further down the road where we may need some additional assistance and might reach out to FGM for that. But this first part, get staff together, get a plan together, get some budget numbers together, and then we can decide how we're going to work at this over the next couple fiscal years, what we want to do, what we don't want to do, what makes sense and what doesn't. So again, FGM has done a solid job for us, and staff is recommended to move forward with them to get this project rolling.
Your motion
So moved.
by trustee Balmas,
Second.
second by trustee
Yeah, I'll set it.
Ross. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Torstenson.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
4-0.
Motion carries. Item 5, approval of ordinance 2025,
75?
authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Northern Power Washing LLC, doing business as Northern Holiday Lighting for 2025 holiday lighting installation services at Gurnee Mills. Yeah.
Ellen's got a presentation she's going to run us through quick, so
Surprise, surprise.
yes,
Thanks,
you're more
Pat.
festive than I am.
Thank you. So tonight's recommendation is driven by something that motivates a lot of what we do, which is to enhance the experience of our visitors, in this case, particularly during the holiday season. So during the months of November and December of last year, over 1 million unique visitors visited our Grand Avenue corridor west of I-94. And we know that 80% of those visited Gurnee Mills. What those visitors see outside as they drive along the corridor is very different than what they're seeing inside. Inside, there are events and promotions and a variety of retailers and all the things that they're looking for clearly at the holidays. But outside, as they drive up and down the corridor, it is largely, almost exclusively unadorned, not lit up, looks no different really during this season than it does the rest of the year. So with 80% of those million visitors visiting Gurnee Mills, and combined with a project that Gurnee Mills had in progress this year, which is a major signage refurbishment, which will be wrapping up by Thanksgiving, I think this may be the perfect year to collaborate and add a touch of holiday decor to welcome those visitors. So just a quick overview of what's going on. You may have seen some of it already. All 29 of the white lattice signs that promote tenants throughout the property are being refurbished with a stone base to match the wayfinding signage. In some cases, they're being completely rebuilt just out of necessity. All of the wayfinding signs and the 4 entrance signs are being repaired and refreshed. So significant investment, significant aesthetic improvement. So with that timing and that project in mind, staff reached out to Gurnee Mills. This was our outreach, and solicited quotes then from lighting contractors that we know do commercial work. And we met on site with Peter and Kelsey and the team to review designs. So Gurnee Mills, since they're wrapping up this signage project, has agreed to assume the cost of electrical work to equip the signs with a little bit more that they need to do to accommodate what we're proposing, which is modest, simple, traditional, really tasteful, I think, I hope. So on the large major Grand Avenue entrance signs, swagged green garland with red bows lit. And then those trees, as you see kind of in the upper center there, will be these starburst sort of sculptures that will hang from the trees to really light the backdrop behind that sign. The other 2 monument signs, the one on Stern School and Hunt Club, will have garland that looks very much like what you see here, that's ornamented because they're not, as large and they don't have the lighting. And then that same treatment will go on the wayfinding signs throughout the center. So the fixed contract price that we're recommending, and in fact, we requested 3 quotes, met with 2 and got 1 quote. The contract price is one time, it's all in. It includes leasing of the materials, the installation, the removal in January or February, installation to occur really within the next few weeks potentially, as early in November as possible. There shouldn't be any maintenance required, but if there is, that's also included. So what we like about this design, obviously, is doable in a pretty tight time frame, because we were sort of really putting this together in the last month or so. And it's also easily replicated. So if Gurnee Mills decides to augment this on their own next year, or as we hope, other shopping centers, which heretofore have not chosen to allocate capital in their budget for holiday decor, may be inspired to add a little festivity of their own. That would certainly be the hope, and we'll set the example. So the recommended contractor is Northern Power Washing, which is DBA Northern Holiday Lighting. This is a firm that's well known to Peter from his roles in other shopping centers, and they certainly have an impressive client list. So O'Hare Airport, Chicago Botanic Gardens, Allstate Insurance, the Glen Town Center, Cole Children's Museum, Lincoln Wood Town Center, North Park University, 4 shopping centers owned by Avalon Realty in Glenview, Naperville, and Orland Park, Horizon Therapeutics, a major office complex, Youth Services of Glenview Northbrook, and Sunset Grove Development in Long Grove. So the team at Gurnee Mills and staff is of like mind that this is going to be a tasteful, well-executed design by a firm that we can trust, gives us confidence in their abilities, and we're here to answer any questions. Appreciate the consideration.
All right, start with motion, and then we can talk about it.
Motion to approve.
Motion by trustee
Second.
Ryan, second by trustee Thorstensen. And am I right? Any questions or comments? Trustee Thorstensen?
Just a quick one. Where does the material reside when it's not adorned?
It's leased from the firm, so they will take it back after it's removed.
I thought that's what it meant. Any concerns by Pete, if he said he had good experience with having them store it?
No, I think that experience has been wholly positive
Okay,
from the reports.
that's all. Thanks.
Question.
Trustee Balmas? All good? Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
4 aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Peter, for letting us do this. We look forward to doing it. Thank you, Ellen, for your
Thank you.
creativity. So,
you.
looking forward to it. On to item 6, approval of a request from Public Works Department to purchase a Clark Model S25 triple 5,000-pound fork truck with a low proposer national lift truck of Franklin Park, Illinois, in the amount of $39,675, exclusive of the $3,000 trade-in allowance, Public Works Unit 210. Pat?
Sure. So this is a forklift at Public Works, was included in this year's budget. Current units of 2014 is ready for replacement based off the age and condition of it. Public Works uses it on a daily basis for a variety of reasons. It's used at other departments as well, and then on occasion help outside agencies with it as well, most recently being the Legion with Beer Fest and unloading the ice from the truck when it shows up. So gets a lot of use. Isn't on the Sourcewell cooperative pricing contract, so we reached out to 3 different vendors in the area. National Lift Truck was the low bidder, and again includes at the price of the $39,675, and that doesn't include a $3,000 credit to our account for the trade-in of our old unit that they're going to use for some train-the-trainer programming that they use, or that they offer, that then we can bring that training in-house on an annual basis versus having to continue to contract for it. So again, in the budget, low proposer, so it's ready for consideration.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee O'Brien, second by trustee Balmas. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
4 aye.
Motion carries. On to public comment. Public comment at the end of the meeting can be about any item, does not need to be on the agenda, but on any item you choose to bring up, just state your name.
Hi, my name's Van Miller, and I'm not a normal presenter, so I'm not going to be good, but you're going to get the information. I represent the Tool Library of Lake County. It's a 503c nonprofit free tool lending library. We're based out of Mundelein, where we started as the Mundelein Tool Library. We expanded all of Lake County a year and a half later. The first 3.5 years, we did about just over 9,600 loans in 42 zip codes. And then we lost our free building. So now we've sold our wood shop, 1,800 square foot wood shop, and well, we're selling it if anybody needs anything. And we moved to a smaller place where we're paying a pretty good chunk of rent. But in any case, it's all run by volunteers. I'm a retired phys ed teacher, don't have a clue about business, computers, or tools, but the people I recruited just asking on Facebook came out are spectacular. It's a pretty feel-good place. You can come in, we're open Tuesdays and Thursdays 4 to 7, Saturdays 9:30 to 3:30. We're going to start opening on Mondays 4 to 7 on October 27th. The second and fourth Wednesday of the month from 3 to 6 for our members, we have fix-it clinics, which the idea was they bring them in and we teach them how to fix them, but they're pretty much dropping stuff off and picking it back up. But the volunteers don't care. They just like doing stuff. We've involved a lot of other people in the community. We've done Boy and Girl Scouts, their Pinewood Derbies, their merit badges. We've had the Lake County Forest Preserve on how to do butterfly gardens for programs like that. We're now having classes, some of them paired with CLC. There's one next week on how to sharpen knives and chisels. But we've had 2 basic plumbing, 2 basic electrical, 1 bike maintenance, one called Women in Tools, which was maybe sexist, but one guy signed up for it, was fine. It was just basic tool knowledge. I needed to be there. We also have other things, like someone's going to come in and teach people how to make wooden spoons. It'd be just a craft thing they work on. We have done stuff also with, like Swalco. We've had 20 yards of compost every year. In the new building now, we have to not be able to do that. Our motto is caring through sharing, and I just have to tell you a couple stories so you get a gist of it. We had a single mom come in, and she'd gotten a house and had to be completely refurbished. She didn't really know what, but she was not afraid. And guys walked her through it, contractors, structural engineers, they're all volunteers there. She's put in a new kitchen. She's put in a new bathroom tile, built a new porch, learn how to screen a window. She just asks people, they give it to her, and she does it. I had another young man that came, younger, techie. He comes in with his phone out. He says, I need a brad nailer and a compressor. And I said, what for? He says, well, I got to put trim up. I'm thinking, it's not the way I did it. But in any case, they showed him some stuff, and one of the guys showed his wife was going to help him to get a lightweight thing. And the brad nails, those were donated. We had a bunch of them ready, and they did that also. Then he came back the next time and said they had a triple bay window and had to buy a curtain rod. It was too expensive, so they showed him how to make some wood things and bend some conduit around and make that. And then the kid came back the third time and borrowed stuff and put an entire wood floor in by himself with the guidance. The best way, and even though we're 4 years in now, we are, and trying to outreach as much as we can, we're failing somehow. That's why I'm coming here, try to get the message out. I went to the Wakanda 3 farmers markets, handed out about 140 sheets, and almost all the people said, I've heard about this, but what do you do? Where do you go? And then now they've come in as members. So I'm trying to reach out. We have 32 members from Gurnee. And after we stopped, we're closed for 4 months to build a new place. I think we've lost about half of them because their things expired. It's once a year, $50 fee for check the tools out. Certain tools, like a giant aerator we got, chainsaws, certain things have $10 maintenance fees on them. Stuff can usually be renewed. And the nice thing is, I would encourage you all to just come on one of the open days, because you can hear about it, you can look about it. I've got a little slip of paper for each of you here that shows a WGN story they did on us, and another kid made a drone video for us. And I'm going to give you cards so you can look at toollib.org, and like, you think you need scaffolding? No, we got it. Look up things and see what's there. But I'd really encourage you to sometimes just find out where open time and spend a half hour there and watch people come in and interact with the people. I'll get more joy out of that. And that's how I'm actually learning some stuff. I know the names of most of the tools now. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
What's your address?
309 North Seymour Avenue in downtown Mount Line. And it's,
I'm sure we'd be able to talk to you afterwards if you'd like to hang around afterwards.
pardon?
After the meeting, if we would
Sure,
be happy to
absolutely.
talk with you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pen.
Anybody else like to make a public comment? Being none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Baumus, second by trustee O'Brien. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned.